What do you do when your own mind turns against you? Imagine you're a prisoner, but the prison isn't made of stone. It's your own mind. The bars are built from thoughts you can't stop thinking, replaying on a merciless loop. The warden is the part of you that replays every awkward conversation, worries endlessly about a future that hasn't happened, and judges every single move you make. You're trapped in a cycle of what ifs, should haves, and the eternally cringeworthy. Why did I say that? If that sounds familiar, you know how exhausting it is. It's like having a heckler in your head that follows you everywhere, pointing out your flaws and predicting disaster, shaking you awake at 3 a.m. It's a profound kind of loneliness, being trapped inside yourself. But what if I told you the door to that prison isn't actually locked? Breaking free isn't about fighting your thoughts. Trying to force a thought out of your head is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. The harder you push, the more forcefully it shoots back up. This is about learning a new relationship with your mind. It's about understanding why your brain gets stuck, and then using simple, science-backed techniques to reclaim your mental space. So if you're tired of being a prisoner to your own mind, stay with me. Because today, we're planning the great escape. First, you must know this. You are not broken. What you're experiencing isn't a personal failure. It's a feature, not a bug, of the human brain's design. Your mind isn't trying to sabotage you. In its own way, it thinks it's helping. Our brains are hardwired with a negativity bias. Our ancestors' survival depended on being hyper-aware of threats. The person who constantly scanned for predators and worried about the winter was the person who survived. They passed that threat detection software on to us. The problem is, we're now running that ancient software in the 21st century. Your brain treats a critical email from your boss or an ambiguous text message with the same alarm as a tiger in the bushes. What was once a survival mechanism has now turned into chronic overthinking and anxiety. This is amplified by cognitive distortions. Think of them as funhouse mirrors for your mind. For instance, there's catastrophizing, where you leap to the absolute worst-case scenario. A text goes unanswered, and your mind screams, "I've ruined everything." Or filtering, where you get 10 compliments but obsess over one tiny piece of criticism. Another is black and white thinking, where everything is an extreme. You're either a total success or a complete failure, with no room for being simply human. Every time you follow one of these thought patterns, you strengthen a neural pathway. Imagine wearing a path in a dense forest. The more you walk it, the deeper it gets, until it becomes a superhighway of worry your brain uses automatically. But here's the good news. Your brain can change. It's a property called neuroplasticity. We can let those old paths grow over and start carving new, more peaceful ones. We just need the right tools. So, how do we carve those new paths? The solution is a skill set, and that should feel incredibly empowering, because skills are learned. Managing your mind takes practice, patience, and the right instruction. This journey isn't about going to war with your thoughts. It's about changing your relationship to your thoughts. The goal isn't an empty mind, but a peaceful one of mind where you are in charge, not the random thoughts that drift through. You can learn to see a thought, acknowledge it, and then let it go without getting swept away. Today, I'm going to give you 6 powerful, science-backed keys. These are practical techniques rooted in disciplines like cognitive behavioral therapy, neuroscience, and mindfulness. Together, they form a complete toolkit for breaking free. The first key is awareness. You cannot change a pattern you do not see. For most of us, we don't have thoughts. We are our thoughts. Freedom starts with creating a little space between you and that inner voice. When a negative thought like, "I'm going to fail this presentation," pops up, we either latch onto it and spiral, or we frantically push it away. Both reactions give the thought power. The alternative is to simply notice it. A powerful way to do this is to label your thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I am a failure," create distance by saying to yourself, "I am having the thought that I am a failure." Or even, "I notice my mind is generating thoughts about failure." Can you feel that shift? It's revolutionary. "I am a failure" is an identity, but "I am having the thought that I am a failure" is an observation of a mental event. You are not your thoughts. You are the one aware of them. Think of it like this. You are the sky, and your thoughts are the weather. The weather is always changing, but it cannot harm the sky. Your job isn't to control the weather, but to become the sky. Here's your first step. For the next 24 hours, just be a thought detective. When a familiar negative thought shows up, just label it in your mind. There's that worry story again. You are taking the first step to disarming your thoughts by seeing them for what they are. Fleeting mental events, not facts. Once you've created space, use the second key, cognitive reframing. This is where you gently challenge the stories your mind tells you. If awareness is noticing the thought, reframing is questioning if it's true. This is a core idea from cognitive behavioral therapy. The theory is that our feelings are caused by our thoughts about events. Change the thought, and you change the feeling. When a thought like, "I always say the wrong thing," takes hold, put it on the witness stand with a catch it, check it, change it process. First, catch it. Notice the thought. "I always say the wrong thing." Second, check it. Get curious. Is this 100% true? Have you literally always said the wrong thing? Of course not. The word always is an exaggeration. Where's the evidence against this thought? Think of a time you had a great conversation or made someone laugh. What's a more balanced way to see this? We're not looking for toxic positivity, but a balanced truth. Third, change it. Based on your investigation, write a new thought. The original was, "I always say the wrong thing." A reframed thought might be, "Sometimes I feel awkward, especially when I'm nervous, but I've also had many good conversations." It's okay not to be perfect. The first thought is a dead end. The second is balanced, compassionate, and opens the door for growth. You're taking the control back. Sometimes your thoughts are a full-blown hurricane of panic. In those moments, you don't need a debate. You need an anchor. That's our third key, grounding. Grounding techniques anchor you in the present moment, pulling you out of past regrets and future worries. Your anxious thoughts have very little power right here, right now. One of the most effective grounding techniques is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. It's simple and discreet. When you feel your mind spinning, pause. Silently, deliberately name 5 things you can see right now, 4 things you can physically feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. By the time you get to 1, you've pulled the emergency brake. You've hijacked your brain's runaway attention and reconnected it with the real world. You've anchored yourself in the calm of the present moment. If this is making sense to you, take a second to hit that subscribe button. You are not alone on this journey. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one thought you're ready to break free from? Sharing it is a powerful way of letting it go. Now, let's get to our last 3 keys. Our 4th key is pure action. Worried thoughts can create paralysis. We get so lost in the maze of worry that we just stop moving. The pattern interrupt uses your body to change your mind. Your brain and body are in a constant feedback loop. When you're hunched over in a worry cycle, your posture sends signals to your brain that confirm you're under threat. To break the mental cycle, you must interrupt the physical pattern. A pattern interrupt is any small, immediate action that breaks the state of rumination. When you catch yourself spiraling, immediately do something different. Stand up and stretch your arms to the ceiling. Splash cold water on your face. Put on one specific song that boosts your mood. Walk into a different room. Do 5 jumping jacks. The point isn't to solve the problem in that moment. It's mental first aid. You are intentionally derailing the train of thought. This is based on a concept called behavioral activation. It is much easier to act your way into a new way of thinking than to think your way into a new way of acting. Your next step, create a pattern interrupt menu. Write down 3 to 5 simple things you can do the moment you feel stuck. The next time the loop starts, don't argue with it. Just get up and do 1 thing on your list. This key might be the most challenging, but it is also one of the most healing. It's self-compassion. Many of us believe we have to be hard on ourselves, but that inner critic is a source of anxiety and shame, not motivation. Self-compassion is a deep source of resilience. It's about treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend. Dr. Kristen Neff breaks self-compassion into 3 components. When you're having a hard time, take a self-compassion break. First, mindfulness. Acknowledge the pain without judgment. Say to yourself, "This is a moment of suffering," or "This hurts." This validates your experience. Second, common humanity. Remember, you are not alone. Suffering is a part of being human. Say to yourself, "Everyone feels like this sometimes. It's not just me." Third, kindness. Actively offer yourself comfort. You can put a hand over your heart and say something gentle, like, "May I be kind to myself in this moment." This isn't about making excuses. It's about creating inner safety. Self-criticism keeps you in fight or flight. Self-compassion soothes your nervous system, allowing the problem-solving part of your brain to come back online so you can learn from mistakes and move forward with true resilience. Our final key is learning to tell the difference between useless worry and productive problem-solving. This is the architect's blueprint. Worry feels productive, but it's just a hamster wheel. It's repetitive, vague, and goes nowhere. Productive problem-solving thinks toward a solution. You shift from one to the other by giving your thoughts structure. When you find yourself worrying, become an architect. Grab a piece of paper and follow this framework. Step 1. Define the real problem specifically. Worry is vague. I'm going to get fired. A solvable problem is, I'm worried my boss was unhappy with the report I submitted yesterday. Writing it down makes it feel manageable. Step 2. Brainstorm all possible solutions. List every action you could take without judgment. Do nothing and keep worrying. Ask a trusted colleague for their opinion. Email my boss to ask for feedback for next time. Review the report myself for areas to improve. Step 3. Choose one small, concrete step. You are not going to solve everything today. Your only goal is to choose one small, actionable step. A good first step might be, I will review the report myself for 15 minutes, or I will draft a short, polite email to my boss. This process shifts your brain from the anxious emotional system to the logical planning cortex. You are no longer a victim of a vague fear. You are an empowered architect, designing a plan and laying the first brick. So there you have them. 6 keys to unlocking your freedom. The power of the pause. Realizing you are the sky, not the weather. The reality check. Questioning your thoughts instead of just believing them. The anchor in the storm. Grounding yourself in the present moment. The pattern interrupt. Using small actions to change your mental state. The kindness cure. Trading your inner critic for an inner ally. The architect's blueprint. Shifting from worry to structured problem solving. Remember the prison we talked about? It might feel solid, but these 6 keys are your tools to dismantle it, brick by brick. This isn't about perfection. You will still have negative thoughts. The goal is building the skills and confidence to know that when those thoughts show up, you do not have to be their prisoner. You know how to create space, question the story, anchor yourself, and build a path forward. You have the keys. The door was never truly locked. You have always had the power to turn the handle and walk free. My challenge to you is this. Don't just let this be another interesting video. Choose one of these 6 keys, whichever one resonated most. Commit to practicing it just for today. Let me know in the comments which key you're going to try. And if you know someone who feels trapped in their own head, please share this video with them. You could truly change their life. Thank you for being here and for investing this time in yourself. You are worth it. I'll see you in the next one.